Hello and welcome to Sword Butchery. My name's Michael and today we are going to be making some beef burgers. So we're going to be making about 40 beef burgers today. We're going to be doing a full batch. So that includes 3.7 kilos of beef. We're going to be using a pound of water and one of these here, which is a Lucas mix. This is a Watson's Tasty Burger with onion mix. So these are readily available online. Most of the butcher shops will use these style of mixes. They cost about £3 each, so really cheap. And what these do is add a little bit of flavour with that onion to add to our good quality beef that we're going to be using. And then also they're going to help to put some preservatives in there to stop the burgers from just going brown straight away. So if you know you've got a party coming up, something like that, where you're going to need a lot of burgers, like I say, we're going to be making 40 today. Buy one of these, £3, some water, 3.7 kilos of beef, and it's a really cheap way of doing things, really cheap way of feeding a lot of people, and they're always going to be super tasty, so you can't really go wrong here. So I'm going to show you the exact steps that to make the burgers. I will be using the mince today, but like I say, you can just buy ready minced beef from your butchers. Make sure it's got a little bit of fat in there, so no need to buy minced steak. That cheap stuff will make a really, really tasty burger. So let's do it. So I'm going to start by mincing through my beef, so here we go. So there we go, I've just put my minced beef through the mincer once there. So what I'm going to do is just spread it all out. So you will need a bit of a big tub or something like that to put your mince in. Big bowl. And I'm then going to add in my packet of the Watson's Burger Mix. So just spreading it all over. Now, the idea here is to make sure that each of those little pieces of mince are all covered in the powder. So we don't want any pockets that have got more powder on than the others, so we're just going to feather it through with our hands, making sure that all of those pieces have got a nice covering. So we always mix our dry ingredients first, and then in a second we're going to add our water. So it was a pound of water, 454 grams of water in there, and I've got that in the freezer. So I've just put that in the freezer a little bit earlier. There we go. So let's add our water. As you can see, been in the freezer, really nice and cold that. Get all that out there. And then we're just going to give that another mix. I'm now going to pop this through the mince for a second time. So there we go. That's the second time done. So now I can weigh out my burger mix. I'm going to make these into 4-ounce burgers, so that's 114 grams. So I'm just going to get my little scales and just start to weigh these out. So just into nice little balls. You can do them, of course, to whatever size you want. If you don't have to be accurate if you don't want to. You don't have to use any scales at all. But I'm going to make sure that these are all exactly the same, about 114 grams. So I've got all my burgers weighed out now, full dish there, and then I've got these plastic sheets here. So these are 4-inch burger discs. So super cheap to buy once again. I bought all these from Butcher's Sundries. I'll put the link in the description. A pack of 1,000 was once again about £3, so really cheap to buy. So I'm now going to lay all my burgers out. I'm going to put one disc on the bottom, my burger, and then a disc on the top as well, and then I'll press them out. So if you were going to be using a cutter or something like that, I'd still recommend these discs. I think they'll really help. So here we go. So there we are, full tray of burgers there. So if you had a cutter, a little 4-inch cutter, you could just go around the burger now, just press it down with your hand. I'm lucky I've got one of these. I'll pop the link in the description, about 50 quid, but there are cheaper versions on Amazon as well. So we're now just going to go and press them out. One thing I will say is just be careful when you're using these burger discs. If you get them wet, they never come apart. So make sure that they stay nice and dry. And when you're stacking your burgers as well, make sure that you don't stack them over 5 high, otherwise they'll start to press down on each other and they'll start to squish, which we don't want. So make sure that you only stack them 5 high when you put them in the fridge or the freezer. So let's get these pressed out. So there we go, that's all our burgers pressed. We can now pop them in our piles of 5. So I hope this video helped, I hope you give it a go. Let me know in the comments how you get on, and make sure to give us a like and a subscribe as well. Thanks very much, cheers.